Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
5 teenagers charged with throwing a rock just like this one off an overpass that killed a father and fiance.
And a mystery along I-94. Brand new information tonight after a dead body is found along the freeway.
But we're going to start things off here at 5 o'clock with the weather and a lot of green on 4 Live radar at this hour. Rain coming down and a lot more to come before it's all over. Also that rain bringing, as you've probably noticed, cooler temperatures with it.
Yeah, indeed. And the timing really couldn't be worse with it really starting to pour right in the midst of the evening rush. So let's get over to Ben. Hi there, Ben.
Hey guys. Yeah, it's when you leave work and you're just thinking, oh, here we go. And you know what you're in for. And it's pretty much everywhere. We don't see any breaks out there on 4 Live radar right now. There's a couple spots where the intensity is starting to pick up. This right here between Romeo and Almont, when you look at the intensity of it, it's about 4 to 5 tenths an hour. But that little patch is going to be moving on, so it's probably not going to drop that much. Most of what we're getting is 1 to 2 hundredths per hour. So this stuff for the most part is light, but it's persistent, it's steady. It's starting to increase a little bit more. You see those greens are a little bit darker in our west and south zone. So we've still got a good flow of moisture to go through, at least during the evening hours. Once we get past midnight, things are going to start to take a little bit of a break. Temperatures are going to stay steady, and it's going to be wet at least through about the midnight hour. And those numbers are going to come crashing down in the 7-day forecast. Don't forget, you can follow not only the rain, but the forecast through the next 10 days, and that includes Halloween. It's on our local forecasters app, free in your app store by searching WDIV. Guys?
Okay, Ben, our other top story tonight developing right now. Charges against 5 teenagers in the deadly rock throwing incident along I-75 in Genesee County.
Just a short time ago, the county prosecutor David Layton announced these 5 teens will all face second-degree murder charges. Jason Colthorpe following the story. Jason, I mentioned they're teenagers, but all being charged as adults, right?
They are, and when you hear this, you'll understand the seriousness of some of the details emerging today. I mean, it was a rock just like this that was the fatal blow, but these teens are alleged to have used rocks much bigger than this, tossing them off an overpass, and the charge is very serious here. We're talking about second-degree murder, conspiracy to commit second-degree murder, 6 counts of felony malicious destruction of property, along with some misdemeanor counts of that. And given the fact that a man died in all of this, the law and order involved in this case wasn't about to hear the word prank.
It's not a prank, it's second-degree murder. I don't think anybody's laughing, and I think if there's any admonition, any warning that both David and I can give, it's telling young people that you make a bad decision, you could be spending the rest of your life in prison. This is not a prank.
The 5 teens are all from Clio. 17-year-old Kyle Anger, who police believe threw the rock. 16-year-olds Mark Sikelski and McCaden Payne. And 15-year-olds Trevor Gray and Alexander Miller.
I don't believe that this was a deliberate attempt to take somebody's life. It was a willful and wanton act that resulted in somebody's death. These people should have known better. These people should have realized that their actions would cause great bodily harm or death. And under Michigan law, that's second-degree murder.
Police say they damaged several cars when they threw rocks off at least 2 overpasses in Vienna Township the night of October 18th.
We found that at least 20 rocks, one weighing almost 20 pounds, was found on the expressway I-75.
Police say it was a 6-pound rock thrown from the Dodge Road overpass that went through the windshield of a van 32-year-old Kenneth White was riding in. It hit him in the chest and head, causing major trauma. The investigation showed the 5 kids left the overpass and drove to a McDonald's and ate.
Took a good man and a good father.
White leaves behind a fiance and a young son.
He took away a child's father and the love of my life. And his stupid act took away a life.
Now, these kids are all students at Clio High School. The 17-year-old, the one they believe threw the rock, is the only one who turned himself in. He's in the county jail because he's actually an adult. The 4 youths are at the juvenile detention center, and they were all arrested. They will all be arraigned in this case tomorrow morning. Devin.
Well, Jason, we heard the sheriff say one of these was a 20-pound rock. I guess the question is, were they only throwing rocks, or were there other things being thrown?
Oddly enough, no, they were not. There were some other items, one of them being at the Farron Road overpass, which was where they were before they moved to Dodge Road. The sheriff said they actually threw a tire off that overpass. So a lot of damage and a lot of charges, and this will be following it as it all moves forward starting tomorrow morning, Devin.
All right, Jason. Kim?
Tonight, we're learning brand new details into a mystery along I-94 on Detroit's west side. That's where police spent hours today after finding a dead body just off the road. Let's get to Steve Garagiola live. Steve, you just got off the phone with police. What they have to say?
Well, Kimberly, you used the right word, mystery, and a lot of mystery surrounding this still. The situation in terms of traffic has pretty much returned to normal, both east and westbound I-94 running normally for a rush hour time. But for several hours this morning, investigators out here, and really there are still many, many questions they have unanswered about the body they found along this freeway. A driver along eastbound I-94 spotted the body high on the embankment near the brush just east of the Lanyo exit. Described as an elderly white man, the body was discovered at about 10 this morning.
How he got there, have no idea, but apparently I don't think he's been there that long.
Police have released very few details. They'll wait for the medical examiner to make a final determination as to cause of death.
Right now, no obvious signs of foul play, but it's still under investigation, and homicide's on the scene working through it right now.
It now appears the victim had something around his neck, indicating he may have been strangled. Investigators now looking at this as a homicide. There are MDOT cameras along that stretch of I-94, which police will look at in hopes of finding clues to what happened out here this morning. You know, the body was found high on this embankment and those trees and brush over there along the freeway. And again, the key right now, because there were no witnesses police were able to find this morning, the key will be that surveillance video, the MDOT video along here, they hope will give them something to go on. Reporting live on the west side, I'm Steve Garagiola, Local 4.
Okay, Steve. A new alert tonight involving a local restaurant and the risk of hepatitis A.
St. Clair County Health Department is investigating a case of the illness in a food worker at the Algonac Flaming Grill. Anyone who ate at the restaurant or had carry-out between October 6th and October 20th, so that span of 2 weeks, may have been exposed. Concerned customers should contact the health department or they can contact their own doctor. The hepatitis A vaccine may provide protection against the disease if given within 2 weeks of being exposed. Police are still trying to figure out what caused a crash that's left 3 teens and an off-duty Detroit police officer in the hospital. Witnesses at the scene say the off-duty officer made an illegal left-hand turn on 7 Mile to go north on Woodward, and as she made the turn, she was hit by a principal driving 3 of his students. The 3 teenagers are in stable condition. The officer, we understand at this hour, is still in temporary serious condition. 2 people arrested on landing in Detroit after checking bags with cocaine in them.
Police say this man, Maurice Borders and Macy Hood, both checked bags with 6 kilos of cocaine in them at LAX and boarded a red-eye to Detroit. A K-9 detected an odor coming from their bags, later confirmed as cocaine. Police arrested them both as they picked up their bags from the carousel. They're both now facing multiple charges. 2 very special guests made a stop today at Orchard Lake Middle School in West Bloomfield.
First Lady Melania Trump and Education Secretary Betsy DeVos were there to help kick off what they are calling the Week of Inclusion, which is part of National Bullying Prevention Month. And our Coco McAvoy was there.
First Lady Melania Trump and Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos spoke to the students today to share a message about inclusion. The First Lady and Secretary of Education walked into the school cafeteria to share a few words with the 7th and 8th graders.
It's really wonderful to be in my home state of Michigan and to be visiting Orchard Lake Middle School. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here.
First Lady Melania Trump asked students to connect with each other and spread kindness.
I encourage you to find a new friend and eat lunch with the new friend. And know a friend, ask them what they like, what their hobbies are, and so nobody becomes sad, stressed, and everybody feels included.
The First Lady posed for photos and selfies with students.
Being at lunch was like the most cool experience.
Hello, welcome.
Trump and DeVos also visited a 6th grade classroom to participate in a lesson about respecting others.
I always believe that you need to treat each other with respect and kindness.
kindness and compassion.
School principal Morrison Borders says their message was one everyone could get behind.
It's not about the politics of the issue. Today they were here about inclusion and bullying and things like that.
He believes Orchard Lake Middle School was the right setting for the event.
Our school, I believe, represents what America is about. We're culturally diverse. We're a minority-majority building. We run the gamut.
And one thing's for sure.
People will never forget the day that the president's wife came to the school.
Out here live now, you may be wondering how the students were selected for this opportunity, but the principal says it was simply because of logistics. He said because the First Lady and Secretary of Education were arriving at around noon, the Sea Lunch students had the opportunity to meet them, and the classroom was selected because it was closest to the lunchroom. Reporting live this afternoon, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4.
All right, Coco. The First Lady's husband has been making plenty of news of his own today. Ahead here at 5:30, what President Trump is now pledging amid the GOP's push for tax reform. The former deputy chief of Detroit firing back again tonight.
I look forward to defending my honor. I look forward to defending my integrity and to clear my name.
New tonight, why she says claims she took bribes just are not true.
Also, Meijer announces a big recall this evening. What you need to know about a potential listeria threat. We've got everything you need to hear ahead at 5.
It is an interesting story to listen to Big Sean and Dan Gilbert, why they were here inside of the Gem Theater, but most importantly, why they were here for children. We'll explain.
It's new at 6.
An organization that aims to help students at a West Bloomfield school is now facing allegations of embezzlement, and parents aren't happy.
The city of Flint faced a water decision deadline today, but instead of a decision, this battle will go back to court.
Two pretty big Detroit boosters here together. They spent a few hours today on the future of Detroit.
Rapper Big Sean and Dan Gilbert put on a program called Mogul to Mogul. They sat on a stage at the Gem Theater and cracked a few jokes, but as Nick Monticelli reports tonight, what they were really doing was laying the groundwork so Detroit children might have a few extra tools to succeed.
So sure, inside of the Gem Theater today, there were a lot of funny stories and anecdotes about Gilbert and Big Sean, but the most important message really is towards the kids, and that they can't accomplish anything if they do it the right way. You could say today was the perfect combination of star power and encouragement.
Quite frankly, guys, all of you are not going to be rappers or performers.
That's Big Sean's mom, Myra Anderson, who helped put together this mogul event to just have a conversation. Big Sean spent some time talking behind-the-scenes careers, but the overall message wasn't just what's available, it's how to get there. And the first lesson was knowing that a loss isn't one.
Well, I think an L could also stand for a lesson, you know what I mean? Because that's what it is.
Yep.
When you say an L, you know, there's no such really thing as a loss, it's a lesson.
Nearly 400 DPSCD students packed the Gem Theater, which Dan Gilbert took as an opportunity to remind them to always try.
What advice do you have for somebody that wants to take a dream and make it big?
You're not going to regret any failures you ever had. You'll regret one day that you didn't take a chance on doing this or didn't take a chance on doing that.
So, did the kids get the message? I'd say so.
Don't talk down to yourself just because, like, oh, people tell you, like, you can't become no rapper, you can't become no singer.
If we really want to accomplish something, we have to put in the work because it's not going to come miraculously.
And why would a billionaire and a famous rapper spend their time with 400 Detroit kids? Put very simply, it's an investment in our future.
Coming up in a time period where the whole world is run by technology, the whole world is run by new ideas and new ways of thinking, and it's important to empower these young souls to be great.
At the Gem Theater, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
You think Big Sean's mom told him that he wouldn't one
I don't
day
know,
be
that's a good question.
a big star?
No. Well, 6 companies across the country and Canada have issued dozens of recalls since Friday due to a potential listeria contamination.
And one of the biggest recalls is Meijer recalling 39 fresh vegetable products. The food was sold in 6 Midwest states, including Michigan. Between September 27th and October 20th, customers who bought the affected food urged to throw it out or return it to the store for a refund. But we've put all the details on the recall on clickondetroit.com. Okay, we mentioned the timing of the rain rolling in just as we're getting into the height of the afternoon drive, and take a look at our MDOT camera. Things slowing down here at 275 and M14. We'll keep an eye out for any backups, which could be likely.
Nobody's going anywhere fast, it looks like there.
You're going to get to listen to all your podcasts. Just look at it that way.
Stock up.
But yeah, we've got rain around for a while. And not only tonight, but it looks like it's going to stick with us, at least in spots, all the way through the middle part of this week. So we've got the rain that's on top of us. It is definitely a lot heavier in the western part of the state. You can see those colors very evident, even on the regional picture. Moderate and some heavy rain out in western Michigan, and not surprisingly, flood watches, flood warnings have been posted that last until noon on Tuesday. Rainfall amounts are probably going to be 1 to 2, maybe a little bit higher out there, but we're going to get our share of it back home too. In addition to the rain, we're also looking at temperatures, which right now not too bad. We're actually above average for highs this time of year, but watch what happens tonight. We will see these temperatures fall as expected overnight, and we'll see lows that are going to be in the 40s in some spots, probably close to 50 degrees at Metro Airport. But tomorrow, by the way, this is 6 a.m. on Tuesday. Watch what happens as we get to lunch. That's as good as it gets. 52 is where we're going to max out tomorrow. Then the temperatures start falling in the second half of the day. The 40s come back before the sun goes down in some locations. And there may be some 30s out there as we wake up on Wednesday morning. But generally, most of us are going to start right around 40 degrees. So there is a big change in the air as we get forward. Things have been so gray and gloomy, we thought we'd show you some color on Storm Pins. This is from Fenton out at 7 Lakes State Park in Holly. Gorgeous shot out there. I don't know when they found that blue sky. That must have been this weekend because it's definitely not out there today. Low pressure is on top of us, and again, going to be dragging in some moisture. We will be seeing a little bit of a break overnight. Tomorrow the showers return, but they're not going to be as steady or as widespread as what we've got out there today. Once we get into the afternoon, they may intensify just a little bit, but again, the heavier rain is going to be on the west side of the state. Lunchtime Wednesday, we're all done. We start drying out beyond that, and then the real cold air starts coming in for the second half of the forecast. When we get into the upcoming weekend, you're going to notice a difference, especially in the mornings. But let's talk rainfall totals, because we're expecting anywhere from about 8 to 9/10 of an inch across the metro zone. Higher numbers out in Lenawee County, topping the 1-inch mark. There will be some spots in the west zone that actually get that much too, but good chunk of us about 3/4 up to an inch. And in our north zone, this will be where our lowest totals will be, anywhere from about a 1/2 inch in northern parts of Sanilac County, closer to an inch down towards M59. Temperatures again right around 51 tonight, and when we look at your high temperatures tomorrow, they don't look a lot different. 52 there at noon is as good as we're going to look at on Tuesday. Temperatures slightly cooler Wednesday. We get a little bit of a bounce back Thursday, but look at those 30s. Start showing up on Saturday and Sunday. There's going to be some spots that are actually going to be below freezing.
Like fall almost.
Imagine that.
October, odd, isn't it?
All right, Ben, let's check in with Dr. McGeorge.
Well, is there a connection between breast cancer and bacteria? Ahead in Good Health, an interesting discovery that has experts looking at cancer in a very different way.
All right, Doc, but first we've got stories from across Michigan, including a tragic fall from the stands at a football game. We'll have that in just a minute.
A mother's heartbreak, losing her son to his opioid addiction.
That first pill for him was deadly.
The one thing she wished she would have done when her son was a teenager to help expose his addiction. Tomorrow, starting at 5.
Stories from across Michigan tonight from Harbor Springs. Also a reason to make a quick stop if you happen to be driving through Marquette.
But we want to start in Davison. That's where a young boy is in critical condition after falling off the bleachers at Davison Middle School. It happened during a youth football game. The boy was sitting with his mother while watching his older brother play. A parent nearby says the boy fell from near the top of the bleachers. A former firefighter who was at the game worked to revive the boy before emergency crews got there and rushed him to the hospital.
Now to big changes at Boyne in Harbor Springs after the death of an employee at a Boyne resort in Maine earlier this year. Now all Boyne Mountain and Boyne Highlands employees are going to be required to wear helmets while on the slopes. Just one step the resort taking to implement more safety precautions in their general guidelines. Boyne operates 9 ski resorts across the U.S. and Canada, and 2 of them, of course, are in northern Michigan. There is still little to no relief at the pump. Gas prices continue to rise for Michigan drivers.
AAA of Michigan reported the statewide average for a gallon of gasoline is at $2.59, which is up about 7 cents from where we were last week. At this same time last year, we were only paying $2.12 a gallon for gasoline, which is almost 50 cents less than what we're paying now. If you're wondering, the least expensive gasoline in the state can be found in Marquette. Performers have officially been announced for this year's Hobnovel Gobble.
Pop boy band Why Don't We and 1980s rapper Rob Bass will headline the event. The Black Tie fundraiser, of course, helps the parade company produce America's Thanksgiving Parade. The event will take place at Ford Field November 17th.
New at 5:30.
One step closer to reality. Tonight we're getting our first look at President Trump's proposed border wall.
There was plenty of fanfare as the Pistons officially broke ground on their new training facility. What does it mean for the team, but also the community they're about to join?
So what would a deputy Detroit police chief have to do with a towing yard?
The only thing Ms. Washington is guilty of is trusting individuals that she shouldn't have trusted.
The former deputy chief says absolutely nothing that's illegal. She's defending her honor. We'll have her story.
This week,
She's fighting back. The former deputy chief of Detroit Police charged with taking bribes is telling her side of the story. And she says the feds have it all wrong. Celia Washington is speaking out tonight after being charged with taking bribes to manipulate the city's towing rotations.
So let's break down these charges a bit. Washington faces 2 counts of bribery and conspiracy. Federal prosecutors claim she took kickbacks from Detroit towing magnate Gasper Fiore, and in return, she would give his company, Boulevard Trumbull, priority on towing runs. Rod Maloney spoke with Washington and her attorney a short time ago. Rod, flat out, she's denying the claims.
That's right, she is, Devin, and in fact, she and her attorney are coming out swinging because she says, first of all, the feds don't even understand the DPD towing contract and how it worked. And then she says the DPD absolutely knows she didn't do anything wrong.
When it comes to the federal indictment, there's a lot of disappointment to go around. Chief Craig said so 2 weeks ago.
Certainly it's extremely troubling.
Celia Banks Washington, Craig's former deputy police chief and attorney, charged with taking cash bribes and facilitating towing contracts.
That I am deeply disappointed with the allegations that have been made against me, though the facts will come out in court, and I look forward to that encounter. I look forward to defending my honor. I look forward to defending my integrity and to clear my name.
She and her attorney Arnold Reed are asking the city to provide documents from a Detroit Police Department internal affairs investigation. Reed and Washington claim IA found no criminal wrongdoing nor department policy violations on her part, something they say Chief Craig was relieved to hear.
We want the proof. We want the hard, cold facts and evidence that my client didn't commit a crime, and in fact she was cleared.
It is highly unusual for a defendant in such a case to say so much, but Washington and attorney Arnold Reed say that the chief and the feds are wrong about this case.
I have the utmost esteem for the men and women of blue, and I'm proud of the work that I did for the Detroit Police Department in the city of Detroit.
I put in a phone call to the chief's office today. He's out of town. They say that he had nothing to say about it today. Maybe tomorrow he'll hear something more from him. In the meantime, Washington has her arraignment tomorrow. Goes before a judge, 1 o'clock at federal court. Back to you.
Well, back into these allegations. Talk a little bit about what they're alleging Washington took.
Well, they generally speak, Devin, about a $5,000 threshold for having taken bribes, which is what is the requirement for the pleadings. But they get very specific about emails back and forth between her and members of the alleged conspiracy. And they also say that there was a $3,000 cash bribe at some juncture. And so there's a lot there, and certainly we'll be hearing much more in court as the days and weeks move forward in this case.
No doubt. All right, Rod.
All right, I'm in the Weather Center, and I'm looking at a lot of green, dark green, and yellow. So I'm surmising that that's trouble.
Yeah, it's not good,
No.
although it's probably easier to find places where it's not raining than where it is right now, because just about everybody is getting wet. The exception looks like it's right there in the southern end of Monroe County that's just getting a little bit of dryness right now. There's more rain to go down to the south, but it is causing some issues all across the area. This is I-94 in Livernois, where they've got very slow traffic in one direction, but I was more interested in the color of the trees. I thought that was impressive. With all the rain that's out there, that's what I wanted to see. But as we look further off to the south, there is lighter moisture here across. This is northern Ohio. The heavier stuff remains across northern Indiana. So as all of this starts to move to the north, that's why we think there's going to be more of a problem out there in western Michigan as we go forward. But as far as what's actually shown up so far, it's been 2/10, maybe 1/10 of an inch on the west side. And we'll get more of these spots to fill in as we get through the night. But as of right now, it's going to be a slow commute through the night. Guys?
The man who police say spray painted racist messages at Eastern Michigan University last year has been arraigned. It's been identified as 29-year-old Eddie Curlin, a former student at EMU who attended from 2014 until early 2016. Been arraigned on 3 counts of malicious destruction of property, 4 counts of identity theft, and 1 count of using computers to commit a crime. A possible serial killer has a Tampa Bay community on edge.
3 people have been murdered in the past 11 days, all being shot, and all within 1 square mile of each other. Local police have been working tirelessly to try and find the person who did it.
I mean, our officers are saturated this area, and they're working 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. This is personal for them. And so we're not leaving until we catch this guy.
Police say there are no connections between the victims, but they have linked the murders through their similarities, as well as some undisclosed evidence. There are currently no suspects or motives.
President Trump is fueling his feud with the widow of a fallen service member as he honors a war hero today at the White House. Also today, questions over whether some lawmakers want to change your 401k rules. Blaine Alexander's at the White House to break it down. Blaine?
Well, Devin, here at the White House today, the spotlight is on 2 American heroes, one who died in combat just days ago, and the other who's being honored today for his courage under fire.
President Trump today awarding the nation's highest military honor to a Vietnam War hero. Captain Gary Rose, a combat medic, repeatedly risked his life running back into fire to save others. Today's Medal of Honor ceremony coming as the president reignites a back-and-forth debate over his condolence call to the family of Sergeant LaDavid T. Johnson. His widow, Maisha, speaking out about that now infamous call.
That will hurt me the most, because if my husband is out here fighting for our country and he risks his life for our country, why can't you remember his name?
On Twitter, President Trump insisting he spoke Johnson's name from the beginning without hesitation, but not speaking to shouted questions, asking whether he regrets that Johnson was upset.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
And from the administration, few answers about what led up to that deadly ambush in Niger.
And one of the fights I'm having right now with the administration is that Armed Services Committee is not getting enough information.
On Capitol Hill, that search for answers now joining other priorities, including a GOP tax reform plan. The Wall Street Journal reporting one proposal could slash tax-free contributions for 401k plans. But today, President Trump tweeting he will not touch the 401k, promising it stays.
And President Trump is set to head to Capitol Hill tomorrow to talk tax reform and other agenda items with his party, still working to get a legislative win before the end of the year. At the White House, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine, like a design studio in the California desert, 8 towering prototypes of President Trump's proposed Mexican border wall stand along the border with Tijuana.
President Trump, during the campaign, proposed, or I should say promised, a wall that stretched the entire border. But the wall nearing completion in Mexico may not end up being what he had proposed. They will be tested and evaluated before one or a portion of all of them could be chosen.
The sheer size of them would be a challenge to get up and over, especially in any type of time or fast period of time. Some of these that we can see through would give us the ability to see what's happening on the south side.
The prototypes are being paid for out of the existing Customs and Border Protection budget and are being built by a private industry and kept far away from the general public. They are expected to be completed by Thursday.
Back our way, Governor Snyder spoke at the launch of the Facebook and Grand Circus partnership today and has big plans for growth.
But let's all work together. Let's learn from them and let's continue to grow what we're doing in IT. So I view this as a great step forward, what's happening here today, what's going on with these fine students. But we need to step on the gas even harder and accelerate that progress and do even more.
And launching this skills initiative is an effort to expand economic growth and demonstrate a commitment to supporting the U.S. workforce. The partnership, will provide accessible boot camps and digital marketing training to Michiganders, specifically in both Detroit and Grand Rapids. The Pistons are going all in when it comes to the city of Detroit.
Yes, today the team, along with Henry Ford Health System, broke ground on what will be a multi-million-dollar practice facility in the News Center area. Our Jamie Edmonds shows us how this new building will have a huge impact on the area.
This tent behind me on 647 Amsterdam Street in News Center will soon become the Detroit Pistons Henry Ford Performance Center. Proof the team says that they're all in on Detroit.
Let's turn some dirt, everyone.
The shovels, the hard hats make it official. The Pistons' new state-of-the-art headquarters and training facility will soon become a reality.
It's really exciting because this is our home. We'll be here every day, and it really goes in tandem with our move to Little Caesars Arena. You couldn't have one without the other.
It will be built 1 block north of Henry Ford's corporate offices on Amsterdam. The building will be a trendsetter in the NBA for training facilities and corporate offices, but it's about more than basketball.
You can't save Detroit, you have to be Detroit. And that's how we feel.
Included, a comprehensive sports medicine facility run by Henry Ford where you don't have to be a 6'9" power forward to get treatment.
When we think about this partnership and we think about obviously the Pistons and those professional athletes, we also think about the everyday Janes and Joes who will come to our facility for the best possible care they can receive.
Tellem says there will be several community events here as well as youth basketball camps. Mayor Mike Duggan says construction will create jobs for Detroiters and spur on other development in the neighborhood.
On my desk today are 3 proposals for housing developments in the North End, so it's going to spread the development all through the neighborhood.
Now, the official groundbreaking will begin in the next couple weeks. Tellem tells me he expects to move into the facility in the summer after their second season. In News Center, Jamie Edmonds, Local 4.
Really cool. All right, Jamie. If you think Detroit has a chance of scoring Amazon's big HQ2, it's going to be quite a while before we find out.
Ahead here at 5, the stunning new numbers showing just how many cities are trying to lure the company.
Also, what got so heated a police officer had to tackle a college professor to the ground. Here's Dr. Frank McGeorge. Doc?
Well, bacteria and breast cancer. Coming up, an interesting discovery that has experts looking at cancer in a very different way.
And before we head to break, Wednesday night, right here on Local 4, Mayor Mike Duggan and the challenger, State Senator Coleman Young II, will square off in their only televised debate ahead of the November election. We want to know what questions you'd like to ask the candidates. Connect with us on our Facebook page, on Twitter, through clickondetroit.com. Drop us a note in the mail. Then watch the mayoral debate Wednesday night, live on Local 4 at 8 p.m.
New at 6.
Of course, cars are expensive, sometimes costing more than we've anticipated, but some dealerships are jacking up those prices in very sneaky ways. How to protect your hard-earned money coming up at 6. Rod?
All right, so our weather may be awfully rainy.
It's good to see the market recognizing some of the potential for what new GM is.
But when it comes to General Motors, its future is actually quite sunny. We'll tell you why.
Now to good health, breast cancer and bacteria. Might there be a connection?
A new study is raising a lot of interesting questions. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with a look at what researchers have uncovered and really why it's important.
Yeah, Karen and Devin, you know, when you hear bacteria, most people think about infections or illnesses like food poisoning. But researchers found certain bacteria in the stomach, for example, can increase the risk of stomach cancer. And now researchers are trying to determine if bacteria could play a role in breast cancer as well.
The study done by the Cleveland Clinic uncovered differences between the breast tissue of healthy women and women with breast cancer.
This is a pilot study, in fact, that looked at breast cancers
and non-cancerous breast tissues. And lo and behold, there were some bacteria that were overrepresented in breast cancers compared to non-cancer breast tissues, and vice versa.
The bacteria that live in and on the body are known as the microbiome. Previous research on gut bacteria has shown when this system gets out of balance, it becomes easier for disease to grow. For the study, researchers examined the tissue of 78 patients who underwent mastectomies. The healthy, non-cancerous breast tissue had more of a certain type of bacteria, but the cancerous tissues had other types of bacteria that were elevated. Researchers say the next step is to look at whether they could target the bacteria in the breast tissue with treatment, or even better, pinpoint the problem area and target it before the breast cancer has a chance to develop.
Imagine if we could, instead of giving chemotherapy that not only hits the cancer but every cell in the body, imagine if we could just give something that targets the cancer, whether it may be breast or otherwise.
So the researchers stress, while these results are not yet at the point where they can be translated into any kind of treatment, the findings do highlight the importance of getting cancer patients involved in research that's hopefully going to result in advances in future care. And that's where we form this great big, basically, database of cancer studies and try and figure out what we can do to beat this.
You were just telling me this microbiome idea is kind of spreading all over the place with lots of different.
Right, it's become incredibly trendy to talk about the microbiome, and there's definitely something there, but we're exploring so many different things, it's not clear where it's all going yet.
Yeah. All right, Doc.
Thank you, Doc. Bernie, just about every city in North America wants to be home to Amazon's second headquarters.
Bernie wants to be home to that too. We'll talk with him in a minute, but Amazon received 238 proposals from 54 different parts of North America. That includes Mexico and Canada and just about every state in the U.S. Just about everyone, I say just about, some cities made a point of saying they weren't in the running. But just about everyone, it seems, wants to be Amazon's next home base, and the $5 billion of investments, 50,000, $100,000 a year jobs that come with it. The only states that did not submit any proposal, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, and Arkansas.